Welcome back to the Mountain Morning Show here on Park City Television. The Dakota Access Pipeline has been going on for far too long, and we are fortunate enough to have two people that are standing right on the ground to give us a first-hand account of what has been happening, especially in the last week, where tensions have definitely escalated. So I am thrilled to be joined once again by Carl Moore, chairman of Pandos, which is the Peaceful Advocates for Native Dialogue Organizing Support,
Correct.
and their founder, Elizabeth Schilling, as well. Good morning. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for being here.
So I want to start right off. You just returned from North Dakota on Sunday.
Yeah.
We see so many stories in the news about statistics and numbers. What does it actually feel like to be there right now?
That is a very good question, and it's something that obviously I can't convey, because to be there is so powerful, and it is such a, it touches people. So when I was there, I was really impressed by the power that these people have, their power in prayer, and their willingness to sacrifice everything that they have, sacrifice their comforts, even sacrifice their life. I mean, right before I left, we actually set up a barricade, and with a human barricade, we had 4 young men had laid themselves down across the road so that we could get these camps into one camp, and we claimed eminent domain. But what is happening there is there's real people there. There are people there like you and I that are fighting for something that is just a basic right. I mean, it's something that's given for, I mean, water. That's what they're fighting for, is water for themselves, water for their children. For example, a mother was there who has a 6-month-old baby, and that baby has been with her for 3 months. So for 3 months, this baby has been there, and she has 2 younger kids. I don't know how old they are, probably like 4 and 2, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But these are families there.
And the recent developments right now have been the militarized response now to these peaceful protesters. And like you said, these are not, I think when people think of protesters and it's some sort of a militia style, these are families. These are mothers with young children. These are grandmothers. These are people just fighting not only for the water rights, but also for sacred burial land as well. Absolutely.
And that's the point, or that's the thing, is that nobody wants these, this could not happen here. The pipeline was originally set to go through Bismarck, but obviously Bismarck said, no, you're not going to do this, so they reroute it. And then where do they reroute it? You know, right through the Standing Rock Reservation.
Yes, go ahead.
One of the things that Carl just said that I really want to underscore that is so important is the movement, the undercurrent of this movement is prayer. One of the things that resonates with me the most that I've learned from my new Native American friends is when they say relative. We say relative to include brothers and sisters. They always start in a newscast with a blessing, a prayer, and they say relatives. And that means we're all relatives from the same species. And this movement is moving forward in prayer. They're unarmed and they're moving forward in prayer. And yesterday, they struck at the heart of the camp, and they took out the prayer teepee first. With all the other tents that were around, they took out the prayer teepee first. So that tells you a little bit about them.
That tells you about the motivation. And I want to speak a little bit to who they are targeting in terms of the protesters, because you made a point from a first-hand account from your experience that the media is not getting the full picture of what is going on, and they are actually targeting media to dissuade them from reporting on what they're actually seeing.
Right, so when we were, the second day that we were there, this is when the 83 people were arrested, and among those 83 people, I mean, they were actually targeting the media. They were targeting women, they were targeting grandmothers, they were targeting these people, and I think they were targeting them because they're trying to push us. They're trying to instigate the fight. Mm-hmm. They want us to take up arms. This is something that they want, and again, this is definitely done in a prayerful manner. Every morning that we went out there, the elders, the people were saying, we're going in prayer, don't do anything, don't swear, don't cuss, don't taunt the police officers, we're going in prayer. And those prayers, in fact, when I was there, we were in unity, and we were standing and we were listening to these songs, and these songs are prayers, and ceremony was happening. And later on that day, 50 units of police units were left from another town adjacent. And for some reason they turned around. And I have to believe that that was divine intervention. And that's something that, again, there are people who want to take up arms. I mean, that
sure.
you have
where
these
the
people.
frustrations get to that point, but it's your understanding that they're escalating it on purpose to try and justify their reaction.
That's what I think. Because the minute we take up arms, they're gonna just annihilate us
because they can.
Yeah.
So Elizabeth, I can see how passionate you are and how emotional it is for you, and I can imagine to immediately go after the spiritual center of the protest definitely sends a strong message. But this is not a Native American issue. That we were talking about some of the protesters and the inclusion of the groups and the spirituality, and that this is really something that affects everybody. Talk to me a little bit about the people that you have seen outside of the community and how much they have benefited and probably been a little bit surprised by what they felt within the protests.
I think a wonderful example would be Mark Morey, who turned in his badge, who was on the front lines, and he was a police officer working for the police department there, and he turned in his badge and became a water protector after 14 years.
That's
gave
incredible.
up his. So that's to underscore that prayer and love and compassion can conquer. We've been taught that bullets, violence is the only way to win, and this is not true. There's a collective shift globally. You see Robert Redford, you see Leonardo DiCaprio talking about shifting from fossil fuel to sustainable energy. It's possible, and it's possible through peaceful prayer and a collective movement, and we can do this. It's absolutely within our power, but we cannot give in to the violence that they're inciting. They're trying to incite violence. They're trying to provoke the water protectors, so it justifies their
response.
Yeah.
And Standing Rock is really just going to be the first. I mean, this is getting the publicity right now. It's sort of on the forefront. But like you said before we sat down, it will just continue. If they move through this, then what will be the next step? What will be the next pipeline? What will be the next sort of fossil fuel dominated area to take over the environment? Is that really a concern for you in terms of big picture as well?
It is, and I just want to just make it clear that these guys are protectors, and they don't like the word protesters, because what we're doing is trying to protect livelihood, protect sacredness, protect water. So moving forward in the future, this is something that we need to unite with, and this is why we created the organization Pandos, is so that we can do things immediately. We can have an infrastructure in place that we can get to places, and we can help. So this Standing Rock, something has happened in the world, in the paradigms of people that normally wouldn't do anything about it. People are doing something about this, and we're unifying as a people. Doesn't matter what you are, Native American, non-Native, whatever you are, this crosses those boundaries because we're all connected, and people are realizing this. There's an awakening happening, and we need to unify on this, and if we don't stop the pipeline, we are going to stop the next pipeline. Or we are just going to keep doing this, and so that it doesn't become so those oil companies or those people that do these things, they'll understand there's a high expense for this. The expense doesn't justify going through with it. All these companies can change. They can change. You know, I mean, companies do that. That's how people stay alive. And the fossil fuel industry is a dying industry. It is just dying out. I don't know why they're putting in all this infrastructure when it is not doing anything. It's not going to last. Anyways, that just to say
No,
that.
I think that's wonderful. And Park City, of course, like many communities around the country, are passionate about renewable energy. We've had lots of nonprofits here that are doing more to bring that technology to our community. Pandos has an event on Monday. I just want to reiterate, Pandos is Peaceful Advocates for Native Dialogue Organizing Support. Monday at 9 o'clock in Salt Lake City, Pandos has an event for people who want to go and support you and get involved in the cause. What can they expect?
Prayer, a peaceful movement, a collective unification, a new paradigm where we can greet one another with love and compassion and greet each other as relative. Greet each other as relative and move forward collectively with one mind to address this issue with love and compassion and not respond to all of the violence that they're inciting in us.
This is something that everyone needs to be at. Like, people need to be here. They can't be in Standing Rock, but they can be here, and we're going to stand in solidarity. And this is going to be very impactful for everybody that comes. The march that we did, the rally march that we did, I got so many compliments about just the feeling that they had coming from non-natives, that they were included, that they felt basically what we feel. We came together. It was really one heart and one mind. And that's what's happening out there, one heart, one mind, one purpose. And just to make this clear, this isn't something that Pandos initiated. This is something that Pandos is supporting, and it's coming through on our Facebook page. Last night, a call was made out by two girls, Kate Savage and Natasha Mutt, and they're with Wasatch Rising Tide. So this isn't coming from Pandos. We are a part of it. Just to make that clear, there was a lot of people in this room.
There are a lot of people who are supporting
and this shows encouragement. This encourages me that there are so many people. And to say something about millennials, these were all millennials. These were all mostly young people.
Well, because it's their future. They're the ones that are really going to.
And I just want to give kudos to them. I mean, we hear so much negativity about our millennials,
yes.
But these are the people that are changing the
that
future.
Are moving
They're
forward.
the people that understand what conservatism is and how we need to change some of these thoughts. I'm so excited about these kids.
You're pumped. I can see it, and I think your passion is going to translate to our viewers, and they're going to want to support both of you and the organization.
I hope so.
Carl, Elizabeth, thank you so much for being here this morning. Congratulations on Pandos and building an infrastructure and really organizing for this important cause.
Thank you so much for having us.
Absolutely.
Thank
so
you.
if
God
you
bless.
want to help and support these protectors, be sure you head to the Pandos Facebook page and be Monday, 9 a.m., Salt Lake City, at their event to see how you could spiritually support this important cause. This is the Mountain Morning Show right here on Park City Television.